Welcome, welcome. So what I wanted to do was, y'all remember the old school, like Dr. Drew sex call thing where people call in and they share what's going on and then there's the session there. So I wanted to do that with people and just kind of, it felt good. And so Cassie's kind enough to let us do that here. But Cassie, like, what we're going to cover, it's going to help so many people. Like, I can't tell you the importance of coaching calls. Like, people say, Cassie, I just listen to your coaching calls and get all these breakthrough, this guidance. And I'm like, yeah, it's because when others share, it's just, we connect. Now, do you know what the grief is manifesting into? Like, is it causing you to not be able to do certain things, or is it causing you not to work out? Like, what's it causing?
I feel stuck in grief.
Okay.
And I'm kind of trying to move through that. Very demarcating event was when my sister passed away, which was in 2019. And in that year, I gained like 10 pounds and it didn't matter what I did. And since then, I put on like another 10 to 15 pounds. And I just feel like I'm in this cycle of just running myself ragged or numbing out and just checking out completely. It's like one or the other.
Okay.
I'm either 120 miles an hour or I'm just a slump on the couch.
So we're going to do hormones definitely, because here's the deal. If your adrenals are off, if your hormones are low and depressed, you can be too. Now, can we like transcend that? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Because emotionally, there's something there that's causing all this. And you said that it all started in 2019 when your sister died, or was it before that you experienced highs and lows?
My mom, I believe, has borderline personality disorder, and she's an alcoholic and has never been diagnosed or treated with either. But through prior therapy, kind of came to that conclusion. My dad also just passed away in November. And my older sister, used to take care of me. She took care of me a lot in our childhood. And then she became a drug addict when I was about 14, 15. And I ended up adopting her daughter and raising her daughter. So when she passed away at that time, I had custody of her daughter, who was 15. I'm sure there was a lot of highs and lows and whatnot before then as well. But that, for some reason, it opened up a lot between my mom and I. I didn't really see all the dysfunction in that relationship until my sister passed away.
Anytime we grow up with a parent that is BPD, alcoholic, struggle with anxiety, even if the mom is struggling with depression herself after a baby's born or whatever, it causes insecure attachment styles. It causes depression. It causes all the stuff that we deal with. People have no idea. Like, just if our mom was anxious when we were in utero and after she had us, can affect us for life, like lifetime. So have you gone through Reset and Restore at all?
I have.
Okay. What came through for you on that one?
I actually don't know if it was Reset and Restore, but you did a video on your 17-year-old self. That was profound. A lot came through on that one.
So the 17-year-old helped. And particularly, is there anything in that you've watched or done so far that's really helped you to tap into that? Like any healing sessions that helped you to tap into that sadness?
Not any one is like coming up particularly. I listen to your videos on my drive into work, and so it's just kind of woven into my conscience.
Yeah.
And the emotions come out, but I don't know if I have the right language for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Have you cried? Have you felt the deep despair and sadness?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So you're wanting to clear this today. And then what are the aspirations? Like, what are we going to move towards when we clear it out? What are we going to fill it with?
Oh, self-love, worthiness.
And the thing is if you grew up with a parent like that, we can learn how to self-love. Worthiness, we're going to have to work at, because see, we've never been shown or modeled that. So we really have to learn. So you couldn't be in a better place. So that's good. So self-love, worthiness. And when you have self-love and worthiness, what would you imagine that would bring in? Like, what would your life look like?
An actual support system, a healthy support system.
I'm writing this down because I can give you the notes when we're done, because I'll have like an action plan. So a healthy support system, And what would that look like? Like, walk me through that. Like, this is where we need to turn on imagination.
I guess somebody to check in on me and be there for me and my family and my girls. I've got 3 girls.
Here's the tough pill to swallow. You're going to have to go through something where there's never going to be anybody that comes to save you like that. It's like you're going to have to sit with being an orphan.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's heavy. So you don't have to do that now. So this is all things you're going to sit with being an orphan, because our stories are a lot alike. You're going to have to sit with that. Nobody's going to come save you. What we're going to do is activate Divine Mother in you. And in turn, that will bring in the support, the sisterhood. You will be able to hold yourself. The people around you will be able to hold you, because right now, the pattern that you were in is it's not going to work. Can't depend on anybody. I'm by myself, fighting, scratching. That's still the thing. So that's the belief in the old cycle. Now we're going to have to shed a lot of old shit. And I think you're ready. A lot of people get caught up in that's their identity. And it's really scary. Like, if you don't have that, oh God, well, there's this whole new life out there. We're going to burn some of this old shit. Okay. And how does that feel? Like, the healthy support system, somebody to check in on you. What if that was never going to come? Like, could you tap into that despair and like that sadness?
I think I'm currently there because I cut my mom out. Like, it'll be 2 years in October. I cut her out.
Good.
Entirely.
Because you got to think of a child, and you've got kids when they're little. Like, imagine a little 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 1-year-old infant baby just crying and nobody's coming to get her. A little 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, like needing something, needing help. Nobody's there. All alone. Like, sad. So that's what's coming out and up. And we'll need to do like we could maybe do like a small soul retrieval today. Maybe. If not, I have a ton on video that I walk you through it, and we go back and we get her, because all we want to do is bring pieces of ourselves back to our midline, to our heart center, so we're more whole, so that we can feel supported, because we've got her now. We're the mom now. I got you, So once we give ourselves all the things that we're looking for, then you'll get what you want. Now, what are some other things? Like, give me some physical goals, some career goals, some mom goals, all that stuff.
Physically, I'd love to be 30 pounds lighter, stronger. I like lifting weights. I just have gotten out of the swing of things when my dad got sick. I'd like to be less codependent in my marriage, for sure. I think I met him when I was 15.
Wow.
And we've been together since. So yeah, we've been together for a long time, and we got each other out of really dark places, but I know that we enable each other in many ways too.
Yeah. Well, and you know why you attracted him, because you never had anybody. You didn't have anybody. So we get thirsty, and that's where a lot of the shit comes in. Now, the second you go to do something, there's always something comes up. Now, that is from a victim mentality. That's just you're okay with being down in the shit. So this will be like a 2-part series. It's almost like, because I listen, I have a lot of that. Okay. It's a constant shedding. And so when I say that, it's not good or bad, right or wrong. It's like, I have it. It's why, like, you're in my field. Like, I understand I've got the codes for that. Right. I had a ton of codependency as well. To drop the victim story, we're going to have to create new thought, because right now the thoughts you're thinking is what's keeping you in the situation. So we're going to burn some shit, put it in the past, and shed some stuff today, and definitely stay on the neutralizers. But let's go back now. If you want to close your eyes, you can. And the feeling that we just went to when I said, you want somebody to check on you and be there. And I said, well, nobody's coming. What comes to your mind? Age, time. When was a time that you felt really alone?
8th grade.
I mean, are you really ready for this? Because when you do this work, you're going to get what you want, and it's going to feel like you're being tested. Other things may go whatever, and you're going to have to really anchor in to the community and anchor into these new beliefs.
I am terrified. I can feel, I have always felt as far back as I can remember that I was a little bit different um, amongst my peers and my family and everything else. And I like that kind of power in like that's within you. I'm scared of it if I tap into it.
I was too. Okay. So going back then, 13-year-old, what specifically was the situation?
Oh,
Getting made fun of, or just simply having a period? Simply like, what was it?
my parents, so my mom and dad married each other twice and divorced twice. This was on their second marriage together. They had been fighting quite a bit. My mom cheated on my dad,
Mm.
and my sister ran away from home with a much older man. My mom had a major lung surgery. She had cancer, and my dad was nowhere. I took care of my mom and I took care of the household, and I didn't have any, there was no support. So I was head of household at 13, 14 years old.
We are so much alike. It's not funny. So first of all, realizing that you took on some of her grief, because we're nothing more than what our programming passed on.
Right.
Okay, but let me address this first. The fear of your own power. Okay, I know what I felt. What is it that you fear about stepping into this?
I won't maintain it.
Okay.
That I won't be able to control it.
Okay, and then what if I told you that right now you're maintaining and controlling your life currently? It's just probably not in the direction you want it to go in. It's going to feel the same way, but better.
I love that idea.
Okay. So have you ever had a run-in with just a situation? It could even be a restaurant that got you sick. Like, have you eaten there again? Or somebody that did you wrong? Did you do business with them again? Somebody that fucked you over? Are you still fucking with them? Or did you kind of cut it off?
I mean, that's pretty much the entire relationship I had with my mom.
Okay.
You know?
So you're done with that now.
Yeah.
Well, why not just go back though?
It's not worth it.
Yeah, you know better, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fear that you won't maintain, you don't go backwards. Once you've been shown the thing, it's almost like a snake being in your house. Like when you're in the energy, you're living with it, right? Okay. Then you're like, holy fuck, there's a snake in my house, right? It's just a different energy. You'll never be, and then you'll get to the point where you'll start closing the doors so that snakes can't get in. And then you'll get to the point where you'll probably move. Then you'll get to the point where you'll go to a place that there are no snakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would just like say how this gets to go. I'm serious though. And every woman listening to this, if you think back to a hard lesson that we've all learned, whether it's getting fucked over, it was just learning a hard lesson about hiring someone, or buying something we shouldn't have bought, or having sex when we shouldn't have. We learned from it. And if you're not learning, you're just going to keep repeating the same cycle. But for the most part, you're smart. It's like eating dog shit. If it's going to make you sick, why would you do that? So once you know it made you sick, you're not going to do it again. So that really nullifies, X's out, clears out, deletes the file of you won't be able to maintain, because you know how you got, now you're aware of it. It's no longer in you. It's outside of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So does that help that fear?
It does.
Yeah. And you'll be fine. And the thing is just like, and you need to go through energy codes as well, so you can understand like where your nervous system was at back then. You're just going to need a lot of validation throughout this journey and path. Thank God you've got the community, because young girls need that. Young girls need like a lot when they're during puberty, and you couldn't even tap into that because you're having to take care of another young girl that couldn't take care of herself, known as your mother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put here 13-year-old video. It's going to make so much sense to you and your girls. We'll make sure we get that for you. I know women are like, where is this stuff? It's all in Hotmomz. So you're going to have to comment below this, send an email in, message us, and say what you want. Okay. So let's go back, because me and you are together right now. You're there taking care of your mom in that situation, and I'm there with you. And maybe there's something else there, something that makes you feel really supported, really safe. It could be something you believe in. It could be an animal. It could be a loved one. It could just be me, whatever. What does she need to know at that time? If it were your daughter taking care of you and your daughter was in that same situation, what does she need?
She needs someone taking care of her.
What does that look like? Keep your eyes closed and just walk me through it.
Somebody else paying the bills, cooking dinner, worrying about, the ins and outs of running a household and caring for somebody who can't care for themselves, to be able to be a kid.
What does that look like? Like, because your kids are like, just imagine it's your kids.
Yeah.
What does that look like though? What does that look like letting a kid be a kid?
Like, she should be worried about homework and whether or not her boyfriend's going to call her and, get her period. All that stuff.
Yeah. Well, if she's feeling like she's got to take care of her mom though, what do we say to that? Do we say, hey, you don't have to do that? Do we say, you can do this, but you can also ask for help and get somebody else to do it? You can tell your teachers at school, like, let's give her some solutions here.
Ask for help.
Okay. Who could have helped her at that time looking back?
My aunts.
Okay. All right. So let's give her solutions. Say, hey girl, listen. Hey baby, listen, this is not your responsibility. You understand? You're going to play, do your homework, talk to your boys. We're going to get your aunt. What's her name?
Sherry.
We're going to get Aunt Sherry to step in here. She already feels better a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your Aunt Sherry stepped in. She started handling it, taking care of it. Maybe we can tell your daughter, do something that she likes. Like, what can she do to kind of like free your mind and move around? Does she do a sport at this time? Like, how can she play?
She could call a friend and go to their house.
Call a friend, go to their house, tell the friend kind of what they're going through so they can like support each other and back each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Share secrets, tell the friend, share secrets. Okay. Knowing what you know now, you're a mom now. How sweet would it be if a child could come in and just come into your house, look at you in the eye and say, hey, my mom and dad are fighting really bad right now, so I really appreciate you letting me come over. Wouldn't that be precious?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she looks up and tells the kid's parent what she's going through. So now they have some compassion, can love on her and support her a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Good. Maybe she goes to the counselor at school and says, hey, I just want to talk to somebody. I don't have anybody to talk to, because she feels safe. Like somebody is there to listen, because that is a reality.
Yeah.
Lots of solutions here, but we don't see them when we're there, right?
Right.
So she's doing that. I think she's feeling better. She's feeling more supported, like, okay. But she's still worried about her mom. That's something that we all have to sit with. And the only thing at that point is more talking to the counselor, more playing with the friends, more sitting, maybe talking to her dogs, crying to her animals, maybe. What do you think? Yeah. Talking to animals, crying to animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then also she needs to dream. She's a little girl. She needs to dream about what she wants to be when she grows up and what's going on this next weekend, and just feeling good, feeling like she's helping people. Does she go to church? Is she in a group? What is she doing?
I don't know. I was never given space to do anything.
But we're different. We're going back in time. We are changing realities.
Playing sports.
Let's play a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's sign up for a sport. And may not be perfect in the beginning, but that's part of life, and it's going to be really fun. And you'll look back and be really thankful that you got to meet cool people and learn something new, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she needs some more support. While she doesn't have a mother that's sitting there to support her, maybe she needs a female mentor, somebody that, can say, hey, no, you got this. Let me show you how to do it. She just needs some kindness, right?
Yeah.
So playing a sport. All right. She's feeling better. And then now she maybe is looking into going into 9th and 10th grade. Now she needs some help and guidance with boys. Maybe she starts reading books and magazines and connecting with her friends and older women, letting the women know, hey, tell me some good things. And you're starting to attract better women in your life because you're getting into your own voice, speaking up for what you need, and you're getting your needs met, right? And if something doesn't feel good, you're like, that doesn't feel good, right? So you see where you're going here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're getting to the space of the boys came in, but you've got some self-esteem. You're playing sports. You feel good about yourself. You have people to talk to. So now the courting, the dating, it's a whole different ball game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see the reality, how it could go that way. Now, that is it's an alternate universal thing, but it's possible to jump timelines. And you have the opportunity today, Cassie, to do that, because your body and brain doesn't know the difference in if it really happened or if it's all in your head. Now, we're going to get this out of your body by feeling it, by doing body work. And over time, it's going to come out of your body. Over time, it's going to get out of your body. Right now, and how we came in to offer young Cassie solutions is exactly what we're going to do for big Cassie. That's it. And how did all that feel?
Exciting and overwhelming.
Yeah. And now if it's overwhelming, we just really packed in probably 10 years into 2 minutes. That's why it's overwhelming. So when you feel
it actually made me think of my oldest, my sister's daughter, because she's 19, she'll be 20 this summer. And it made me, like, my heart just went to her, like right away as you were talking, because we got her when she was 10, and it was just a really crucial time.
So you see, you're already breaking the cycle. You see that, right?
Yeah.
And she's going to help you heal. Your daughters and your niece, they're going to help you heal, because you're going to look at her and go, you're a 19-year-old. Here's what I wish here's the solutions I wish I had. And you're not going to force it on her, but you're just going to be there. You see, all women need is support, non-judgmental support, and unconditional love, so they can be the free spirits that they are. That's it.
Yeah.
And we need to feel safe with our men, with our sisters. That's it. And if it doesn't feel safe, then it's a fucking hard no, you know?
Yeah.
So when you feel overwhelmed, you go back to the breath. Because the reality is, right now, you're sitting here on a Zoom, you're talking to Casey Ship. We're talking about stuff. We're just talking. You're in your house. That's the reality. You breathe and you go back to the now, which is we're sitting here. You and I are talking, girl to girl, Casey and Cassie. We're just talking about life, coming up with some solutions. It's safe. All is well. Right in the now. That we're not thinking about the future, or we're just talking about now. We're creating solutions. We're sharing space. It's pretty cool. So when you get overwhelmed, breath work with those 4 and come back into being, and realizing that this is just you healing your nervous system. You didn't really have one. I explain it like this. You know, a flower pot holds a flower in place, right? And if there's a crack in the side of the flower pot, all right, the dirt's going to spill out. It's not going to hold water. That plant's, it's going to struggle. All right. It's got to be in a really good environment. It's got to be resilient, and it still may not be as healthy as if the flower pot that's put together with the perfect soil. You get where I'm going. That's like our nervous system. A lot of us weren't even planted. And you know what I mean? A lot of us don't even have a root system. A lot of us have a lot of holes in the flower pot, and that's our nervous system. So what we do is we have to regulate it. And the best way to do that, there's tons of, herbal supplements and things you can do, but breath work is one of the quickest ways to bring in life force energy. Because think about it, when a baby's born, what do they want them to do? Cry and breathe. That gives life. A life comes into the baby. So breath work is life. So if you feel depressed and you don't have life, breathe more in. That's all we have. So, and your only job is to feel good. That's your only job as a human being, because when you feel good, now you can give to others, right? But a lot of us have been through some shit. We're not here to judge. We're not here to blame and all that. We've got to take care of you first before we even think about anybody else, because you are everybody else. So understanding that from now on moving forward, we only speak in solutions. We only think in solutions. If we go to complain, catch ourselves. What's the solution? If you feel alone, what's the solution? Can you ask for help? May be hard, but you can do it, right? So right now, it sounds to me like you need to call a friend, get in the community, introduce yourself. What are you excited about? How are you feeling? Connecting with women. Sounds like you need to go either sign up for something, a pole dance class, a dance class, a Zumba class, a fucking stretch class, sign up for something, like do something where you go and you start working out. You just do something, it could be walking you just do something, keeping you active. Really exactly what we just talked about, because you're how old?
38.
Oh, perfect. 38-year-old enjoying her kids. stepping into her womanhood, finding her voice and really choosing what makes her fucking happy. I mean, and what makes you really happy? Is it like planting flowers, crafting? Like what really makes you happy? If you had all the time in the world to do something, money wasn't a thing, like what would you be doing with your piddle time? What would you be doing?
I don't know. I'm still discovering that. I like gardening. I have a love-hate with gardening. Um, I have a really cool job that I enjoy where I get to dissect stuff all day. So that's my jam. I love that. I'm still figuring it out.
Good. And that's okay. I'm gonna be figuring it out till I'm fucking passing through this physical body. Like there ain't nothing wrong with that. So
Yeah.
but your only job is to take care of you and feel joy and play during the day. And as well as I do, if you feel like you can't, that's just the trauma talking. That's just the old stories. We're going to burn the old stories because that's not solution based.
Yeah.
Only solutions from here on out. And so I would say to get in something else. You got your work, but now what else? Like for me, I'm different every day. Sometimes I want to just lay in the sun. Some days I want to ride a bike, play with the kids. It's literally different every day. Sometimes it's riding. Sometimes it's like just finding joy in the moments, playing with your dogs. Like how can you incorporate more of that every day?
I do really enjoy playing with the dog.
Right.
Getting outside when I can. The weather up here has been so weird.
But you see how simple all of this sounds, and really it's just living life, enjoying life. But you see how there's been this really sad kid like running the show, right?
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
didn't have solutions. She didn't have anybody to say, hey, let me help you, because kids aren't fucking supposed to know that. They're supposed to have adults around them to help them. And you didn't.
Right.
So honoring her and asking her, you think that she'll come with you? Do you think right now, if you could go back then, like, does she trust you enough right now to take care of her?
Oh, she's angry. She's angry.
She should be.
And she doesn't trust anybody.
So if you had a young teen that you just adopted and she felt that way, it's like I say, you wouldn't be like, let's go to Disney World and buy your favorite stuff and go shop at it. That's a traumatic situation. Like they just want to be around you. They just kind of they don't want to talk a lot. They just kind of want to be with you and fill you out and sniff you out. And they have to trust you. Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want you to start looking at, you got 3 girls, honey, you got 4. So now you've got a new daughter, like Cassie, little Cassie. All right. Little Cassie. And she's new and you're not trying to convince her, force her to see, tell her how much happier she should be now. It's just like she's angry and we're going to, what a woman's like when they're angry. Just give her some space, let her write, let her cry, let her listen to music, let her dance, let her scream, let it out. Let her know it's safe to feel angry. Go clear anger. I would go clear that in the neutralizer. And beneath anger, now anger is beautiful. Now, Cassie, I want you to know something. Anybody listen to this? So depression is very low. It's protecting you to not be hurt. But you know what emotion that we try to get people to from depression? You know what emotion? It's anger. Because anger is beautiful. It's a gift. Anger can help you to it can help you to just take action. Like fuck this shit, or I'm not going to do this again. It can help you take action. And that's what it's for. It's to set boundaries. It's to take a stand, take action. So you just went from depression to anger, and that's phenomenal, right? That's moving up the emotional tone scale. That's like a miracle in itself. That people take drugs to try to do that. So you just moved up to anger. So beneath anger, there's deep hurt, and that's okay. Well, she'll feel that later, but now she's angry. So out of the anger, what are some things that she can do moving forward so that she knows she's not ever going to be in this fucking situation again? You just did it, hun. You're not taking care of your mom. You're not taking care of your mom anymore.
Yeah. Cutting out the toxic people.
There you go. People that can't help themselves. People that you feel obligated around. People that don't take your time, or they don't take your energy seriously. They don't belong in your life. So that's one thing you can do. Good job. Okay, what's one more thing she can do to make sure that she's not in that situation again?
Ask for help.
Bam. There you go. That's all you got to do right now. And when you feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, just know that's the bullshit talking. That's that little sad girl that's in her shit. And you're going to step up and go, hey, girl, listen, it's been long enough. You've been in the shit. You didn't know you had help. I'm going to take care of you now. And you're going to get what you finally deserve and want. Everything's going to work out, and it's going to take some time, but enough's enough. Sitting in the mud's long enough. All right. We got solutions now. We got some help, and we're going to get you fixed up. It may take some time, and you're going to have what the fuck you want. It's going to be a miraculous shift. So just get ready, and it's going to be okay. And you need to anchor that in. Some days will be harder than the others, but when it's hard, you just know to go back, do what we did. I've got the whole thing on video. I've got this on video, but I also have multiple soul retrieval, like pretty deep soul retrievals in there that can like take you through it. That's all we're doing. That's all we're fucking doing, is going back, scooping up parts of ourselves that was disassociated, bringing them in and giving them solutions. So now that you know all that, what would be a good thing to burn and leave in the past forever, amen, and shed?
Resentment.
All right. We're leaving it, and we're leaving it behind. And you've got the tool when it comes up, but we're just burning all the resentment away, because I'll read you something. We're burning resentment for Cassie, for me, for everyone listening to this call. And what are we thankful for right now?
This call.
Thankful for shared space, women healing their shit, love. And then what are we going to call in?
Self-love.
Self-love.
Compassion.
Damn right. Damn right. Says, hey, we've been through, just like the little kid coming up and said, hey, my mom and dad's fighting right now. That's it, man. Compassion for everyone. Compassion for ourselves. And I'll read this to end, because it was sent to me from a sweet, sweet, loving mentor. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And so it's just this, what we just did, over and over, and it gets easier and easier. Kids growing up like us, it's just part of it. And we're very empathic. We feel the pain of the world. So it's very normal. Our job is to just clear it and do the best we can. I would say for those listening, you could comment below if you see this on a video. If you're listening to this, I would say go to cassieship.com/apply and fill an application, and somebody will reach out to you. So thank you so much, Cassie. You got this. You fucking got this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have fun resting.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.